everyone, welcome back. Today I'm just doing a little update video that I promised on the last video that I said was going to be coming shortly, and that didn't really happen. So right now I think is a great time to be doing this. We're all bored, sitting at home, not sure what to do with our spare time. So, hi, what's up? She'll probably join us this entire time, so just get used to her dancing. Anyways, so if you didn't watch my last video, I was just giving my final thoughts on Orilissa. I was on Orilissa for quite some time and started at a low dose, ended up at the highest dose possible. I did not have good results from it. I had a lot of side effects. I really didn't feel like myself. I didn't have pain relief. It just wasn't a good medication for me. So at the time, after I was done my Orilissa, I had a choice of just go on nothing or I needed to go on Lupron. So I did have a trip coming up, so I wanted to make sure that I would be as close to pain-free and not have any major flare-ups and major pain days while I was away, so I decided to go ahead with a Lupron shot. So again, the Lupron shot did well for me. I always have a significant reduction in pain from Lupron. So as much as I don't like taking the medication, it is something that I know I can go towards for pain relief when I really need it. So the trip that I was going on was to New York City. I was going to see a specialist there. Not the only reason I really wanted to see New York City at Christmas time, so we went in December so I could see the tree and I could skate at Walman Rink and just be there during Christmas time. So I arranged with a specialist, Dr. Vidali, who is amazing. He does free consultations, so if you guys are just looking for a second opinion and somebody who's really knowledgeable, he was great. And to do a free consultation means so much. So with my consultation with Dr. Vidali, I just went over my history and the surgery I had performed and what kind of treatment I am on currently. He thinks Orilissa is shit, which I think I would agree, and he does not recommend being on Lupron. And these are things that I think we kind of all know, but we don't know what to do. We don't know how to cope without these medications. And for me, like, Lupron is just something that works really well, and in a small center where you only have access to a certain amount of doctors and specialists, what else do you do? So he gave his opinion that excision surgery would be most likely quite beneficial for myself going forward, and he suggested to stop Lupron 3 months before having another surgery. So this is something that I did not know about. It makes perfect sense once he explained it to me that anything like Lupron or Orilissa, what it's doing is shrinking the endometriosis lesions, so it's making them less visible. So if you have surgery when you've been on Lupron or on Orilissa, I'm not sure if this also applies to Vizan, I didn't ask, but the likelihood of recurrence of the disease is higher if you're on these medications that do shrink and make the lesions less visible, obviously, because if they can't see them, they can't remove them. So very beneficial to know that. For any of you that don't know, I just wanted to share that. And he also suggested that I start taking a higher dose of turmeric supplement. So I think we all know, if you've done some research about endometriosis, it causes inflammation in the body. So whatever we can do to reduce that inflammation, whether it is gluten-free or no eggs or no dairy, whatever it is, your body will be different than everybody else's. Those are just the common ones that seem to cause a lot of inflammation. But besides that, also using a turmeric supplement. So I was very grateful to have been able to talk to him and sit down with him, and he took his time with me. Any questions we had, he answered, and just overall great experience. So this second opinion kind of came out of not really knowing what else to do. My doctor here was not offering me another surgery. It was pretty much just the offering of Lupron. And it doesn't seem like we should have to be on this for like the rest of our lives just to be pain-free. Like, is there not another option? And I was getting very frustrated, feeling very unlike myself with all these medications, and I just needed another opinion from someone that I knew was going to know more about this than perhaps my doctor at home. So that gave me a lot to think about. Obviously, being in Canada, we don't have coverage or anything to go out of country for services unless there are services that are not offered in Canada. So it wasn't an option to get anything covered through the government to go out of country to have my surgery performed with Dr. Vidali. Although this is what I really would like to do, but I really had to think about what is the best option for me, both financially as well as health-wise. Of course, there is no price point to put on your overall health, but you have to also think of financially if that's really a responsible thing to be doing. So I booked an appointment to see my gynecologist here, and I had to explain to her getting a second opinion, what he said, and I was so nervous. I'm an anxious person to begin with, and situations like this just make me extremely nervous. I was sweating, my face was red, my speech was shaky. I don't want to offend anybody, and I think this is a lot of our problem, is we don't quite know how to speak up for ourselves. And so this situation forced me to have to do that. And I really respect and like my gynecologist here, so I didn't want her to take any offense by the fact that I went to get a second opinion. So I worked it all up in my head like it was just going to be the most awful conversation I've ever had. And it was fine. She was incredibly understanding. She offered to even send me to another province to get another opinion, to perhaps have surgery performed through someone else. And another option she gave me is we have two specialists in Saskatchewan. We have Dr. Teal in Regina and Dr. Weens here in Saskatoon. And the only problem with that is that they have about a 2-year wait list just to get in to see them, let alone to have surgery performed. So the option that she gave me was that she would be performing another surgery on me. However, Dr. Weens would be in there with her performing the surgery. So I thought this was an excellent option. So I did sign the consent papers for the surgery. It was supposed to be booked for in April. Obviously, that's not happening now. I'm sure, like many of you, it's been postponed until who knows when, whenever this whole thing is over and things are kind of back to normal, they'll start to reschedule all of these appointments. But that is a plan going forth. I am planning on having surgery whenever that is available next. I have been actually doing really well after stopping Lupron. So I have not got my period yet after being off of Lupron, so the effects are still there, which I am so thankful for, especially at this time, knowing that I'm not going to be having surgery anytime soon. Just having a reduced amount of pain during this time has been a blessing. So I'm so thankful that I'm still doing well, and I'm hoping that that lasts for a while. The last time I was on Lupron, I was also doing really well after I stopped, but then as soon as I got my first cycle, it all just came back with a vengeance. It was so bad. So I am hoping that I don't get my period for a little while yet, just so that hopefully it prolongs that inevitable pain coming back. For all of you who are in the same situation as me, or perhaps worse because you're in so much pain, I sympathize. I feel so bad that you have to wait, that you've been probably waiting for a really long time anyways for this, and now things are just worse. So do whatever you can in this time to get through, whether that's taking extra time for yourself, taking some time off work if you are able to work during this, taking that moment to practice, mindfulness, relaxation, have a bath, do whatever you need to do. So that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to give you a brief update, and hopefully you are all doing well and staying safe, and just stay inside, do what you can. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.